So our agenda for today includes a very short presentation of the Academy and some of the international courses that will be offered during 2024. And of course, the presentation of Mr. Sotiriou, expert on the field of education and training, and head of the R&D department and the Teachers Training Center of Climademy KA1. Climademy is one of the first Teachers Academy funded by the Erasmus Plus program with the main objective to equip teachers with the skills needed to feel confident and prepared to teach the topic of climate change through interdisciplinary approaches and thus contribute to their professional development. The Academy is developed around 4 hubs in 4 countries and a common virtual place, the platform Cloudy. Through the platform and its content, the courses offered by the hubs and the summer school, the Academy aims to accomplish its above-mentioned main objective. Now, some of the learning objectives of the courses offered by the Academy are the understanding of the basic aspects of climate and climate change, the use of data from open database and the stations for atmospheric and Earth system research of the hubs, following the inquiry-based approach and transforming in this way the classrooms into labs. Also, the familiarization with the competency framework which sets the teaching activities goals, and finally, the participation in an active teaching and learning community of practice for climate education. With all this in mind, and after your questions, if any, I think it's time to give the floor to Mr. Sotiriou to share with us useful tips and guidance for preparing proposals that can lead us to get funding for participating in activities such as those of Climademy. If you have some questions, or I can see also, Mr. Sotiriou, you have the floor.
Thank you so much. It's always a great opportunity to interact with teachers, especially teachers who are devoting their time to find more opportunities for, of course, their professional development, but at the same time for improving the experiences of their students. And from what I have seen from the audience, we have really some very experienced teachers from Crete, from Brazil, and very good friends for long time. Although we are not meeting physically very often, clearly we have the opportunity to exchange experiences, and I believe this is the most important aspect of these opportunities the European Union is offering through these mobility grants, which is our topic for today. Just to add to what Thalia said, is that currently the European Union is really emphasizing on the role of these academies and on the teachers training more specifically. So there is a list of currently 22 academies who are creating courses and materials for teachers in different key areas. Erasmus program has, in principle, 4 priorities. The first one is the digital Erasmus. The second is the green Erasmus, focusing on sustainability. The third one is the inclusive Erasmus, offering opportunities to especially to teachers and students who are working in, for example, rural environments, and they don't have so many opportunities. So how we can include them in the whole learning process and training ecosystem. And this year there is a new axis focusing on democracy, on key, let's say, principles for citizenship and sustainable citizenship. So it's also, we have also the democratic, as it is called, Erasmus. So projects and activities related to these 4 topics are automatically, let's say, eligible for funding. So our aim in the next about 30 minutes that I will devote in this short introduction to KA1 action of the Erasmus program. I will, let's say, highlight some aspects, especially for teachers who are interested to prepare an application for their school and have the chance to participate in one of the training courses that are available for the next 1 or 2 years. So a few words about our institution. We are working together with Alia in a research and development department, which is located in a school, acting as the interface between academy and technology and school practice. So we have created, let's say, an intermediate level between the school community and the external world, and we are trying to design scenarios, educational activities that are more meaningful for the students, taking advantage of the current challenges our communities are facing. So we are focusing on different thematic areas. We have established all these years quite a large network of teachers and schools who are working with us. And we are focusing on really designing activities, assessing their impact in real settings. And in this case, we have, let's say, evidence for populating the different policy, I would say, frameworks in different countries, and introducing in such a way innovation in school settings, because clearly, as you understand, we can perform some proof of concept experiments, but in principle it is up to the educational authorities of the different countries to adapt them and implement them at scale. So let's proceed, Thalia, to the next slide. So the first one, let's say, I don't know, as I said, I don't know all participants, but I have seen some experienced teachers here. So I will focus also, I will try to introduce the issue, but also highlight some changes that we have currently in the Erasmus program. So in principle, the program is focusing on teachers' mobility for professional development. So teachers have to prepare an application to participate in a course that is taking place abroad. So for Greek teachers, they have to check and select courses that are relevant, but they are organized abroad. They cannot be in Greece. For Italian teachers, the same. They have to look for courses that are taking place abroad. And this is, let's say, the first issue. The second is that you have to prepare the application for the school. You are not submitting an individual application as it was in the past, but you are preparing an application that is going to be submitted from the school, because in this way you can integrate also requests for funding for other colleagues. So the application does not only include the application of one person to participate in a course, but it can be for a number of teachers from the school staff who want to join different training courses in a different time frame, during the next, for example, academic year. I have to say that the funding that the program is receiving is the biggest ever. And this is, let's say, increasing significantly the number of applications that are approved per year from the national agencies. The application has to be submitted to the national agency. So apart from the key priorities that I mentioned before, the 4 basic axes, you have to take into account that you have to look closely to the website of the national agency of your country in order to check if there are specific priorities. In order, let's say, to simplify the process, the new application form is becoming more simple as long as the school has been certified, let's say, for the Erasmus program. To do that, maybe colleagues who have been involved in these applications remember that we had to prepare the school development plan, the European School Development Plan. And this had to be repeated in every single application. So in order to make the process more simple, the European Union has now adopted a different approach. So the school can make an application for the so-called Erasmus plan, describing the key needs of the organization, the focus areas of the different activities, a plan on how they can make benefit out of all these courses that they will participate. They are getting the approval, and then they have to enter in a more simple process by every year submitting an application, including only the courses that are related to this reference, let's say, Erasmus plan that they have submitted. Of course, schools are able to submit an application without have been certified before through the Erasmus plan, but in this case the form is a bit more complicated, and they have to add specific information. So this is, let's say, a very important issue that you have to take into account. In all cases, you have to read very carefully the guide. We will share with you the updated guide for 2024 with all the information, all the related, let's say, topics and tips that you have to take into account. A very important chapter, let's say, in the guide is the one that is describing the quality standards of the application and of the project in case that is going to be approved. So you have to consider this very carefully and use it as a checklist while you are preparing your application. Make sure that one by one you are meeting all the quality standards that are presented on the Erasmus guide. This slide presents the different award criteria. The top score for an application is 100, but you have to get at least 70 in order to get approved. And there are let's say, the award criteria include the relevance, how relevant is your proposal with the key priorities of the Erasmus program. They include the implementation framework, how really how you are designing your program, how the project is meeting the needs that have been specified, and in this way, they are able to see that really the needs and the implementation plan are really very much related. We can proceed to the next one. Yes, the important there are some tips here in the presentation. The starting point, let's say, for designing and developing the Erasmus plan, are the needs of the school. So here, as this seminar is taking place in the framework of Climademy, and a teachers academy that is focusing on let's say on environmental education, clearly one if he or she wants to participate in a course related to green issues, they have to demonstrate that this is a priority for the school, for their school. This could be, let's say, related with environmental issues in the local community. This could be related to a reform effort that the Ministry of Education, for example, in the specific country, is currently realizing. So teachers have a significant need to to acquire new skills, new ideas, to introduce the new topics in the curriculum. So you have to think and describe, let's say, the rationale of the application in the best way in order to present a convincing story. So there is a specific need for environmental issues in the specific school. For this reason, we have to we are thinking to apply to participate to this academy. We can move to the next one. The slides, Thalia, will be available for colleagues. So anytime that you can go back to them and you can check the different points. And also, we are always available. You can send us an email, and we will try to react as soon as possible. And of course, we have all this information also available on the website of the academy. So the second part, as we said, is the implementation plan. Here we have to describe the plan of the organization, presenting in long term, let's say this could be for 2 or 3 years, mobilities that could contribute and they are meeting the needs that were described in the first part of the application. So, for example, you can say that the school wants to implement a multidisciplinary approach to cover, let's say, to introduce a whole school approach towards, let's say, environmental education. So it's not only an issue of, I don't know, of the biology teacher or the science teacher, but it's an issue also for the other teachers of the school. So they want to see how they can cooperate and how they can introduce green topics in their curriculum. So in this way, we have again to check for courses that are promoting the specific ideas. It is really important the terms that we are going to use in the needs analysis and in our plan to be related with the courses, the descriptions of the courses that we are going to select. And in this way, we have a good match. Now, another very important issue, that in fact, this is also a barrier for many schools to participate in Erasmus, is how you are really dealing with I would say, the gap that the absence of the teacher is going to bring to the school organization, to the everyday, let's say, school work. imagine that 2 or 3 teachers are living at the same time, and the other teachers have to cover their place and deliver their lessons. So this is very important. You have to really demonstrate that in case that you are selecting a course that is taking place during the school year, you have to highlight how you will deal with this problem. Another option is to select courses that are taken during the breaks, and that there are courses all year long, so you can make this decision. But in case that the courses are taking place during the school year, you have to devote significant, let's say, space in your application to explain how you would deal with this issue. Okay, now the third main part of the application refers to the so-called follow-up. Let's suppose that a number of teachers have participated in a number of courses, they are coming back, and now it's the time to make a benefit, let's say, out of this for the rest of the staff, for the to the rest of the staff, for the students, for the local community, and so on. So how are you going to share this experience gained during the course among the teachers? What is the process? Are you going to organize some workshop, some presentation? Maybe these teachers are going to give some demo lessons, and then the other teachers from the school staff, they are attending these lessons, they have some discussions, some analysis, they share the resources, and so on and so forth. Another idea, for example, if it is really a course where a specific, let's say, outcome was produced, maybe it's an idea to organize an open day, and you can present this work to the parents, to the public, to the local community. And let's say this is the first level, I would say, dissemination and communication of what has been done. On the other hand, it is very important to demonstrate that the school will try at least to set up a strategy to have these changes that are proposed after the training to continue and to be sustainable and continue also after the end of the funding. So these are some key aspects that you have to take into account while you are working on your plan. The application is being submitted to the national agency. And in case, of course, the organization has already submitted an Erasmus plan, the information, the basic administrative information is there. In other cases, the school, if is applying for the first time, there is a specific process that is described in detail on the website of the national agency. The school has to get a specific identification number, and then in future applications, all the administrative data of the school will be presented. So these are some screenshots from the application. As I said here, by the way, all images in the presentation, they have the related links. So you can, when you have the slides, you can click on the images and you can have direct access to the application forms. Of course, these application forms that I have here are in English, but you have always the opportunity to submit your application also in Greek, in Italian, and so on. So this is This is, I would say, very, very important to follow step by step the process that it is described in the website of the national agency. Now, we are let's say points now refer to the application independently if you are submitting for first time or if you have already submitted and you have approved your Erasmus plan. So now it's time to define the courses that the participants are going to attend. In case that you have not identify a course yet, and you want to submit the application because the deadline is approaching, you can describe, let's say, the course in general terms. I have seen the question. There are specific deadlines for the accreditation process. So in principle, we cannot submit the application anytime we want. There are specific deadlines, and as I said, if you have not submitted an application for accreditation yet, still you have the chance to submit a KA1 application, but you have somehow to include your Erasmus plan in this application. Then next year you can submit a proposal for accreditation by repeating, let's say, this work that has been done now. I would say, let's say, that's why we are doing all this work and all these seminars, because we believe that it is really a great opportunity for all of you to apply. So don't be afraid to apply, because this program has been designed for school teachers, and it's really a great opportunity. And as you see here, as I'm explaining, there are no so strict rules. For example, here, you can even, it's not necessary to name the people who are going to participate in the course. And you can decide only when your proposal has been approved. So you can, of course, describe the characteristics that I'm going to send the science teacher, I can send the computer teacher, or I can send, maybe it's a course related to school heads, and maybe the school head could participate, or other members of the staff, but it is not necessary to name the people. A very important part is if you have a plan to prepare somehow the participants. Let's say you have the project approved, and you want to implement a preparation procedure. This could be related to linguistic issues. I mean, the course is taking place in English, and maybe the teachers are not so familiar in using English, especially in quite demanding terms related to pedagogical terms and so on and so forth. So you have the opportunity to offer them a quick course focusing on pedagogical terms, let's say using pedagogical terms in English. Or you can organize activities so these teachers to collaborate with other colleagues who are not traveling, but share their ideas while they will be there working in the course. So please devote some time and describe a series of activities related to the preparation of the participants. And the last part about the evaluation is mainly integrated in the follow-up. So somehow it's good the school to have a mechanism. It could be a questionnaire, it could be an observation sheet or whatever, that will help the school head, let's say the team that it was responsible for this course, to assess the impact of the participation of the colleagues to the specific training course. What was the impact after 1 year in the school? And if this is really covering the needs that were described in the initial Erasmus plan, then you have a very good connection, a full cycle, I would say. So keep these issues in mind. We have also specific instructions. Here there are the links of the European School Innovation Academies. I would say a major academy that is covering different thematic areas. It is in operation till 2008. And includes a lot of information, also in short videos related to the submission process. And of course, we recommend, as I said from the beginning, to have a close look to what the national agencies are announcing and presenting in their info days or on their website and so on. Usually there are info days in every country about Erasmus KA1 program. So in case that you have the chance to participate or follow over distance, I will highly recommend to get benefit out of that. Let's go to the next one. Yeah, this is the program guide. I mentioned that already. Inclusion, digital, participation in democratic life and common values, environment, and fight against climate change. This is a top priority of the European Union. I would also, Thalia would really recommend to share, especially for partners who are interested in these green related training courses, to share also the green competence framework that was published from the European Union and the Joint Research Center of the European Commission about 1 year ago, and highlights the key competencies for students related to environmental education. So this could be a very good starting point, starting your application, focusing on the green comp and the necessary skills that the students have to acquire during their schooling. So how we can support that? We need some training opportunities. We need some exchanges of good practices. We have to see how colleagues in other countries are doing that. So in this case, the participation of this in such courses is an ideal option. So yeah, I think we can move. We have also the link to the guide. The guide is quite long document, but please focus on KA1 and school education, because the guide is covering all the areas of the Erasmus program, university, at university level, adult education, vocational training, and so on and so forth. So you can focus on schools,
Mr. Soteriou,
and
maybe
on KA1 actually.
Maybe we can answer some questions regarding to this issue before we go to the offered courses.
Yes. Let me check the chat for the questions.
Yes, I can help you with this also.
Yes. So I see Haram Mizeraki is asking if it is possible to different teachers of the same school to apply for KA1. Yes, the application for the school is one. So in this one, you can include 1, 2, 10 teachers from different topics, from different areas who are going to participate in the same or in different courses. So you can apply, let's say, the application is more general and it's not focusing only on one single course and not in one single person.
We have also from Ms. Stavroula Kypreou, can we apply for an tutoring project to make it Erasmus? We are already running one title, Sustainably Together.
Yes, I would say this is a very good case, but let me say if you are running already such a project, maybe the KA1 that is focusing on training is, let's say, something quite simple, maybe for you. I would recommend to have a look to the school cooperation projects. So try to develop your e-twinning to a small scale KA2 Erasmus program. Okay, because the idea of KA1 is usually teachers are submitting an application in order to participate to courses abroad. If you want really to run a project, my recommendation would be to look initially at the small scale KA2 projects where you have a project, you have your partners, you have a common theme, like sustainable together, and you are trying to exchange expertise. One other idea, Mrs. Kypreou, would be to check the opportunity for job shadowing opportunities. In the same KA1 application, there are opportunities for job shadowing. So what is job shadowing? You can include in your application, in the same application, you are applying for a training course for some teachers, and for some other teachers, you are applying for job shadowing. In this case, you have as a partner in the same application the schools from your e-twinning program, and you are going there, and in principle, you are replacing them in their lessons, or you are delivering lesson, let's say how you are organizing your lesson in Greece, and you are transferring this experience to a school abroad. So it's like offering a demo course for them. You are teaching their students, and together then you redesign the approach. And then it could be the same for them. They can come here and they can teach in your school. I would say in order to be, let's say, realistic, this is a quite complex case because having another teacher coming from another country teaching in our school. But I would really say that in case that you have, for example, schools from Cyprus, where there is no linguistic barrier, for example, it would be ideal. And also, I don't know if we have participants from Germany and Austria, for example, let's say countries where they are speaking the same language. This is a very good cooperation option.
Mrs. Soterios, from Mrs. Kafedji Vasiliki, so we can apply for funding, although we haven't decided on a particular program course yet. We are sure only about the field.
Yes, you can apply.
And also,
you have to describe the characteristics of the course, though, in the specific field where you are presenting your plan. You have to say that we will select a course that is focusing on these specific themes and specific competencies development, for example, for teachers that have been, let's say, you consider this as a major need for your school, and you can apply.
Another, can we apply a 2 or 3 year Erasmus plan on different priorities? For example, digitalization and sustainability, and then subsequently present a specific annual mobility project on sustainability? Or the annual mobility project, can we choose more than one priorities?
In principle, you can choose as many priorities as you want. And if you have, let's say, if you present a plan that is covering all priorities, is really an ideal case. As they don't want, let's say, this is what the experience, of course, this is mainly experience from some countries like Greece, Portugal, Italy, Romania. Usually the national agencies, they are not, let's say, approving quite big projects. But you have really to check this with the national agency. If you go and check, for example, the average funding for the projects from the previous year, you will see and you will understand what is the capabilities that you have. Usually the funding that the schools are receiving is something between 10 and 20,000 euros. So with such amounts, it is quite difficult for a big school, I would say, to make a plan bigger than 2 years. So if you have such a plan, I would highly recommend to to submit an Erasmus plan for accreditation, to get the accreditation, and then you have the chance to submit every year a new application focusing on your needs.
Okay, so I think we can move on to the
yes, and if there are other questions or comments, we can let's say look at them at the end, or we can answer over email.
Okay, so Mr. Sotiriou, I want to thank you very much for this informative presentation. Your long-time experience and insights on the topic are very useful and always a source of learning for all of us. And after this, I think this is the best time to share some of the international courses that Climademy will offer during 2024. Mr. Sotiriou, please feel free to add comments regarding the links between the course and the Erasmus plans, if any. So in July 2024, we have the Climademy Summer School that will be held in Greece, organized by Climademy KA1 from the 1st to the 3rd of July. Keep in mind that the program starts early in the morning, so your traveling day must be the 3rd of June. All the information that might help you write your Erasmus plan and your proposal, including the description and the learning objectives of the courses, as well as the step-by-step guide for the application that Mr. Sotiriou mentioned, are available on the course page. And of course, moving to now to the Finnish hub from South to North Europe. The Finnish hub will organize in September 2024 a course in the framework of Teachers Climate Change Forum in the forestry station of the University of Helsinki. Again, the information is available on the page of University. And the last confirmed course of Climademy for 2024 is organized by the Italian Hub in June 2024 in Bologna. focusing on teaching climate change through a STEAM approach and using data storytelling. Of course, more information will be sent to you both by email and of course, as well as the courses that will be announced later this year. And of course, you can contact us if you will need further information and assistance, or if you have any questions. Now, as we come to the end of today's webinar, I would like to see if we have any questions for the courses or for the application process.
Thalia, in case there are no questions, I would like, let's say, to highlight that Climademy aims to design, let's say, a training ecosystem. So, in principle, now we are in the phase where we are testing and we are let's say, implementing a number of events. The idea is that at the end of this, at the end of the preparation phase of this academy, we would be able to deliver courses in different locations during the whole year, and also courses with different duration. Additionally, we will try to implement more and more advanced courses for experienced, let's say, teachers, because clearly the level, I would say, of involvement of the teachers in this kind of activities is not the same. So maybe we are going to a course and the course is really basic for us, but maybe we have the opportunity to offer more advanced courses for experienced teachers. Courses for school heads, how they can organize their school in such a way to promote environmental education in everyday aspect about that. So, and this is our aim with Climademy. And we are really now at the phase where we are developing the contents, we are testing the materials, and really we have the chance to offer a number of opportunities to teachers to join these courses while we are setting up the overall mechanism of the Climademy.
I have sent you a post-webinar survey to fill in. Now in the chat, I will also send it via email with the presentation of today's webinar after we close, in case you want to complete it another time. And in that case, I want to again thank Mr. Soteriou for his valuable contribution to today's webinar, and especially all of you for your participation and for your interest.